Hey, Robbie and from Entrepreneur here. Good things need to be highlighted, and there's starting a new season of Piispisperjantai, which we can define, we can tell you, we have been building some articles about it, but we came to the source, and we are here with Roza and Jonathon, who works for the city of Turku, and we want to speak a little bit about what is Piispisperjantai and what's coming in this new season or something. First of all, thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Then, very important thing that we have received some question about. What is Piispisperjantai? How you can define what is a Piispisperjantai?
This is a good question. Is Piispis is it an event? Is it a state of mind? Possibly.
Yeah, it's something very Finnish. I don't know.
Well, it's very Turku. It's very Turkulainen, and that's maybe at the heart of what it is. But in general, it is a coffee morning. It's an international coffee morning in English, where we at International House Turku invite the international residents of the city to come and join us for coffee, for piispis donuts, and to kind of hear about the challenges that they might have during everyday life, and to kind of find points that we can help as a service.
So we can say maybe it's like a point of reunion for the newcomers to the city.
Yes, and I think it was designed originally for newcomers, and we thought that people would come in when they didn't have anywhere else to go, as it were, and then we would point them towards different events and networks. But actually, after 2 years, we found that people like it and they keep coming back, and that has made the event evolve as well.
You said something very important there, right? How many seasons are we having so far? In which season are we starting this Piispisperjantai 2025?
You're asking a very challenging question, because by this point we have lost count. But I would say officially, maybe we can call it the second season of Piispis. Would you agree, or would you say this is third one?
Season.
Maybe. Yeah.
Depends if the first one was kind of a prototype.
Okay, the first one was the pilot season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Piispis 3.0.
Yeah.
Okay.
Considering the locations, at least this is our
Yes.
third location that we have moved to. Yeah.
Question that we also received. Okay, now we know what is Piispisperjantai, but then who can attend Piispisperjantai? Is for everybody? Is just for internationals or migrants? What's the deal there?
Yes, I would dare to say that it's for every international, basically originally, because that's the idea of the International House Turku, welcoming all the internationals to integrate, find their community, find what they want to do. So it is a welcoming point, coffee morning for all the internationals, even though I have to point out that we have had some Finnish, some locals just drop by because they were curious. I remember one time people came by saying that it looks like you're having a very fun event. Can we join? So if you're a local and if you're very interested and curious what is going on and want to join, we're never going to turn you away. But yeah, original internationals welcome.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. Like really anyone, any resident of Turku or people who are thinking about moving here sometimes do drop by as a little like taster session. And yes, we don't want to create this kind of international bubble exactly, but we want to use Piispis as a way to introduce, especially newcomers, to other parts of the city and to Finnish culture and to Finns themselves.
Because the idea is that the people that attend Piispisperjantai, then they can integrate like in a sort of day-to-day basis into the city, working, relationships and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the culture of it as well was meant to be this kind of informal. You know, the internationals told us that there were so many events that they had to register for, be there on time, sit down for 2 hours, listen to how it is. So Piispis, the idea was, you don't have to go every week. You don't even have to turn up at 10 a.m. You could turn up at 10:30 or 11. There might not be any donuts left by the time you get to 11:30, but of course you can drop by for 10 minutes or you can stay for the full 2 hours. And that freedom, I think, is what people really appreciate, because it cultivates this atmosphere of kind of positivity and not the sense that you're at school or you're somehow forced to be here. Maybe.
You mentioned there's something very important that is related to the name, I believe. Piispisperjantai. Perjantai, I'm learning Finnish, I'm sorry. Perjantai is Friday, and piispis are the donuts, right? So it's actually, if we translate everything, like by the book, it should be like Donuts Friday.
Yes, in a way, but even if you would mention it to anybody, even a local person outside of Turku, that Piispisperjantai, they might not necessarily understand you, because there is a catch about that. Piispis phrase, term, name, because it's a very local, it's a very Turku thing.
Oh.
The thing is that you can actually see there in the picture, piispis is that donut that has that cover, the pink sugar coating. Is it what it is? Yeah, it has. So the idea is that the rest of the Finland calls it a Berlin donut.
Oh.
But we in Turku decided that we're calling it a bishop's donut, aka piispis tai piispan munkki. So, and then is the abbreviation, like piispan munkki is piispis munkki.
Okay.
So Finnish lesson.
Finnish lesson.
Yeah.
Puhun kieli lesson, right?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, pretty much if you are in Turku and if you go to any cafe, you will see like piispan munkki, piispis. Yeah, very Turku thing.
Okay.
And Donut Friday. And of course not without tea or coffee. So you can also get that.
That's another thing. So actually, when somebody gets into a Piispisperjantai session, so they're going to find like this welcome breakfast, so to speak. And this welcome breakfast is made between coffee, tea, and piispis, right? That's like the menu for the day.
Yeah, so, and fruit as well, because we were kind of, someone mentioned that, piece having one every week isn't the healthiest idea. So I think usually we try and have some fruit as well.
Okay.
So for the people who are.
I ask because it's important, like here in Finland,
Exactly,
like everybody
exactly.
is aiming for the food. Okay, so and what they can find beyond saying that it's a sort of a welcoming spot or a place that they can feel safe, what they can find there, what are the themes that you try during a Piispisperjantai session that it's appealing for people that are coming to Turku, but at the same time it's a space where Turkulainen can meet other persons.
Yeah, and I think, again, it depends on each week. Occasionally we kind of throw in different themes. Sometimes we might invite a speaker, not for the full 2 hours, but just to kind of say a few words. I mean, of course, the target group is so diverse, but really job seeking is typically a common theme amongst many of the participants of Piispis. So learning the language is a theme, and kind of, I guess, friends and networking also counts as well. So we try and help cultivate these parts as best we can by inviting kind of other services, by inviting, for example, internationals who have managed to find a job or students who've graduated and started their own company, and we try and invite them to share their stories as well. So after you have your coffee, you might find that there are different tables. There might be a table of people who have their own business who are kind of talking about how things are going. There might be some students about to graduate over here who are kind of swapping notes about theses and internships. Or you might have a group around Roza, and Rosa's telling them something about residence permit changes. So you can be kind of as bold as you like, and we really encourage this kind of thing. And if we see someone standing by themselves, we tend to drag them over and say, hey, because there's nothing worse than someone at Piispisperjantai sat by themselves. Like, we want people to have that connection and feel like they can talk to us. And again, as internationals, we are always encouraged to learn the language, but it's also nice where it's like, here, you can speak English. You don't have to practice your beginners or intermediate Finnish. You can come here and speak English.
I've seen people crying because they need to speak like only Finnish what they are learning. This is on Fridays, and you say 2 hours. So if we can tell the people that are maybe watching or hearing this, which is the time frame in which they have or they can attend a Piispisperjantai, and is this week by week? Is one time per month? If we can delucidate that.
Yes, so if we're talking schedule, then it's Friday 10 to 12. So 10 a.m. obviously, not in the evening. Even though actually what I was going to mention that we have the part where we connect the people. But then I've noticed a lot of people have started connecting. So they have Piispis after parties, where after Piispis they go and meet together, or they even have after Piispis weekends where they meet up and create their own sub-communities. So
we're not invited. For those,
well, because the city is not paying for salary on weekends. But going back to your question, so schedule 10 to 12. We used to be every Friday, but now note 2025 autumn, September, we have it every other week. So pretty much we're starting the 5th of September, our first Piispis. So the next one would be not the next week immediately, but the one after that.
So every 15 days, every 2 weeks, sort of.
Twice a month. And starting 5th of September. Yes, would be. So what would be, do the math for me, please. What would be the next one?
The next one would be the 19th, Friday the 19th of September.
Nice.
And it kind of goes on. So I think technically in October there are 3 because it is every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But you can check the website before I went off and also our social media channels. Sometimes we do slightly deviate. We've taken Piispis on the road before. Sometimes we do collaborate with the universities around as well. If they have their own networking breakfasts, we've kind of joined forces with them before, and we might be doing that again in the autumn. So again, I would advise you to always check the website before going off to Taiteen Talo yourselves.
Yeah, very important, because we have defined what is Piispis, the story sort of the name, the time frame, the theme of topics that maybe people can find there. But where it is? You just said it like very mildly,
yes,
but where is
it's
it?
a good question. And because we've, again, as Rosa alluded to, we've kind of changed venues over the years, but now we are in the Turun Taiteen Talo, or the Turku Art House, which is near the Old Market Square. It's kind of on the other side of the river to where we are now. It's quite easy to find on Google, and their website is in English, and we're on the 5th floor. So this is a building that has lots of different activity spaces in, and galleries, and of course a lot of artistic, drama schools and so forth. But if you take the stairs, if you're feeling brave, or you can take the elevator, then you can get to the 5th floor, and you walk into the room and you have this like beautiful view of Turku and the riverside. And again, I think that adds a real atmosphere maybe to the event. So yes, the Turun Taiteen Talo, unless otherwise stated on the website.
People can just show up, or they need to register in some link form, or maybe when they visit the webpage or something?
No, yeah, and that, I guess what you mentioned earlier also, like the charm of this event is that it's open for everyone literally, that you do not have to pre-register, you do not have to inform us whether you are coming or not coming, because the doors are open to everyone at any point. And you don't have to, like you mentioned, be there at 10 a.m. sharp, but feel free to come 10:20 whenever you are awake and ready to meet other people and socialize.
Okay.
Yes.
And because this is the first episode of this 2025 session, the 3.0, what's going to be like the first topic of chatting starting this 5th of September?
Yes, so the first Piispis, aka tomorrow, what we have is the original idea of the Piispis Fridays. So meeting other people, connecting, creating that network community, that's it, and meeting us, obviously. Yeah, what else would you want than to meet us?
We do have speakers and very talented people from across the city, but tomorrow, we thought we would take the first session. Yeah, and, we already do the podcast and the other things, but there's something people like to chat to us. And again, so if you're a newcomer, then we'll introduce you to old comers, the regulars, let's say, and we'll try and make those connections before we launch into, the bigger challenges, the job hunting, the culture shock, the Finnish winters. That kind of stuff can come later in the season. The first one should just be about this, like, getting to know. I think that is about everything. Of course, if anyone thinks that they're not sure, they're welcome to contact International House, and of course we can give them information. But usually, I don't think we've ever said to anyone, no, you are not welcome at this event. It's ground, the entry level. It's the entry point of International House.
If people want to follow something where they can access for more information, maybe they can search the webpage, or there's some social media account that they have to take on consideration?
Yeah, I would say especially for the events, our social media is probably the most up-to-date location. Our Instagram at International House Turku, but you can also find us on Facebook and LinkedIn as well. In the website, we are under the City of Turku's integration services, which is maybe not the easiest point, but maybe we can share the URL. But I think if you go to the English language homepage of the Turku website, there should be an International House button on these kind of links for internationals. So we should be on there.
Okay. One thing that we used to do with every interviewee that we have at Entrepreneur, 30 seconds, look into the camera if you want to say any message, tip, or whatever for the people that will be hopefully coming to the Piispisperjantai.
All right, this is a very hard spot. So the main thing is that we have been in your position if you're an international, whether you are here new, whether you have lived here for 10 years like myself, you're still finding yourself struggling with certain things. It does not necessarily even need to be a struggle, but it might be something that you would like to share with someone. Find people that you want to hear their stories and see what you can do about yourself. A lot of times you do not even get exact answers to the questions that you have, but it's just good to share, feel connected, and be present. So I think that's one thing that we can promise that you will find during Piispisperjantai, and I'll let you continue.
I think you've used most of the 30 seconds, but I will just say, come for the donuts, stay for the community.
Wow,
That's all.
That's a very nice tagline. Come for the donuts, stay for the community. Nice.
Yes.
We should have t-shirts for Yeah.
This is a very good.
So, thank you so much for having us. I know this was on a very short notice. You don't know it, but it was very short notice.
Good point.
So much.
No, thank you, and thank you for your support. And it's great to be here.
Yeah, and I want to say something else. We are starting to write and publish English news from the city. So we are going to let you know, for instance, if there's a shortcut or if the city is working in a, I don't know, repairing a road, or if you know when there's something going to happen, please visit www.entreprenerd.com, which is our website. We're going to have a special section just for Turku news in English. So if you are just coming to the city, maybe it will be useful. Thanks again.
Sounds great.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah. Now done.
See you soon. Tagline.